On today's Music Nerd, understanding the phenomenon of charting cover versions of chart-topping songs.
Music Nerd. This week.
For Number Cruncher, the other half of Music Nerd, each week I pore over the charts looking for whatever is interesting or newsworthy or out of place. And for the last 2 or 3 weeks, there have consistently been 2 or 3 cover versions of top 10 singles somewhere further down the top 200. But unlike most charting covers, which are performed by known artists looking to put their own spin on known songs, these covers are performed by artists I've never heard of, whose covers seem to be designed to be indistinguishable from the originals at a glance. Observe. Here is the original Call Me Maybe by Rae Jepsen.
Dan is now listening to Rae Jepsen's Call Me Maybe.
Now compare that to this version by a mysterious artist called Here's My Number.
Dan is now listening to Here's My Numbers. Call Me Maybe?
Now, when you play them side by side, Carly Rae's version is clearly superior, but the fact remains that the inferior cover version is still selling tens of thousands of copies every week. What I figure must be happening is many people who hear the song while they're out and about at the store, on the radio, whatever, come home, want to download the song, but don't necessarily know who it's by. They don't know it's by Rae Jepsen, so rather than searching for her, they simply search for the most memorable line from the song, namely, "Here's my number, so call me maybe." This carbon copy cover takes advantage of that by entering its artist and album info as keywords related to memorable lines from the songs, causing the unoriginal version to rank higher than the original version for many people who are almost certainly searching iTunes for the original version. And Here's My Number isn't the only cover artist who is cashing in on this metadata manipulation. Here's My Number, so call me maybe, Carly. Somebody That I Used to Know by Gotye featuring Timbra. Now You're Just Somebody That I Used to Know. Used Somebody. We Are Young, which is originally by Fun. Tonight We Are Young. Tonight. And Payphone by Maroon 5, Waiting to Call. And quick little aside about that cover version of Payphone. It actually cracked the top 10 in the singles chart for the UK before the original, because the original wasn't released in the UK until this last Sunday. So that's kind of weird. Anyway, why is it that these fake covers are allowed to exist? Why aren't artists and labels and digital music retailers sounding the alarm? I mean, I for one have 2 conspiracy theories. 1, the artists and their labels actually benefit from these fake covers. The original artist does make a royalty for each fake cover sold, so you have to figure that everyone who mistakenly downloads the fake version will eventually realize their mistake and then also download the original. If and when that happens, the artist is making a little bit more money than they would have from the download alone, so you can see where it would be very easy for them to just, turn a blind eye to their fans' suffering. Conspiracy number 2 is that iTunes is responsible. Whether or not the artists actually realize or care that they might be making more money from these fake cover versions' existence, iTunes certainly realizes and iTunes certainly cares. From their perspective, it doesn't matter if you're downloading Carly Rae for $129 or fake Carly Rae for $129. I mean, they're still making $129. And for those who download the fake and then realize their mistake, then iTunes makes $129 twice. Although Billboard magazine did run a cover story on these fake covers. Right here it says, "You Call Me Too," right there, that one. And in it, they say that, quote, "iTunes is working to improve its services so that consumers aren't duped into downloading mix-ups." So I guess we'll see. I will be following this story very closely. I will be keeping you guys very updated, and I am very curious to know what your personal conspiracy theory is as to why these cover songs are allowed to survive and thrive. So please let me know. Post a comment that way. So that's all for this week's Music Nerd. To check out the other half of Music Nerd, Number Cruncher, where I crunch the numbers behind what's happening in the world of music, click over here to check out my friend Esteban and fellow co-host hosting the Rap Report, where he talks about what's happening in the world of hip-hop and rap music, click right here. And to check out my other friend and fellow co-host Elaine hosting Happy Fun Music Time, click right there. It's all good quality YouTube musical programming. And subscribe to Fuse.